Hey Aubrey, are you ready? Let's go. It's time for your morning tea. It's time for your morning tea. Today's morning tea is be transformed, don't conform. Again, be transformed. Do not conform. Prior to jumping in, you already know what I'm going to ask you to do. Look to your right hand side. There is a subscribe button. Press that subscribe button. And on the right side of that, there is a bell. When you tap that bell, what happens is that you will receive the notifications of my uploads immediately. I pretty much upload early in the morning, so you have all day long to sip on your tea. Okay, let's get into it. Who is Aubrey? Aubrey is my niece who gets up every morning with her mom and sings. It's time for your morning tea. It's time for your morning tea. Auntie Mika loves you. Okay, so jump into this word. New King James Version of the Bible. And do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's the a clause that we're going to focus on. But the rest of it says that ye may prove what is good, acceptable, and perfect will of God. Again, do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So we have been focusing on the new you. So some people do not know how to make the first step or basically jumpstart that new them. And they're wondering how. So some of us got some deliverance. Some of us obtained it through maturity. And others of us are struggling with it. So what can you do to start becoming the new you? It starts with your mind. You have to have a made up mind. And I'm going to use this example, and maybe I may be the wrong person to actually use this example because I'm overweight, but who cares? I'm being honest. Okay, so when people make a decision to start losing weight, right? The key word is they make a decision. Something may have triggered it. Maybe it's their health. Maybe they want to look better physically. Whatever the case may be, they decide, hey, I want to start this weight loss journey. So some of us, and I'm saying to me, I have not made up my mind to actually do it. I start and I stop. I start and I stop. And why? Because it takes a lot of work. It takes an extreme amount of work, dedication, and commitment to lose this weight. So I'm not there yet. But there are others of us who have committed to that, who have made up their mind, who have made a solid decision that they are going to take this journey and put in the work. Becoming a new you takes a lot of work. It does not happen overnight. Just think about the age that you are now, right? So for that many years, you have been the person who you are. So do you think that you're going to change overnight? Only if God does it. And when God does it, you still have to come into agreement with him, because then things are going to happen that are going to try to pull you back to who you used to be. We call those backsliders. So, and he's married to the backslider, so you don't have to worry about him leaving you if you end up sinning and backsliding and turning back to who you used to be. He's there, even if we make our bed in hell. But what I'm saying is that you have to have a made up mind. So the way that we transform is by renewing our minds. And the only way that we do that is if we sit down and we think about what we want to change about ourselves. Why are we that particular way? What caused us? What molded us? Whose hands, influence helped us be the person who we were or currently are, right? And you want to stop and think, what is it doing for me? How am I benefiting from this? And how are others benefiting? I have an expander in my mouth, so therefore it's kind of hard to pronounce words. But how are others benefiting? Boom. From the person that you are now, right? If there's nothing beneficial from it, and I don't mean just like immediate gratification, like what you're getting from it right now. What is it going to do for you in the future? How are you going to benefit from it in the future? How are others? So basically, like, you changing can basically benefit your marriage. Maybe your marriage is rocky. Maybe you're dating someone who is unsure that they want to marry you. Maybe you're not dating at all and you want to get married. Is the person that you are currently a person that you would want to marry? If you are not that person that you would want to marry, what can you change about yourself? Of course, we don't know what our husbands want, but basically, there's a foundation. I mean, there's a foundation. There's basically, there has to be a firm and a solid foundation that is laid now so that you are able to build off of it. And I'm not just saying this in reference to a marriage, but just think about your career. What about your education? What about your family? There has to be a foundation, and the foundation starts with you. So what you want to do is change your mind. Make a decision that you're going to change your mind, and you basically make a stride towards it every day. Again, practice makes perfect. That is not a cliche. Practice makes perfect. The more you practice your change, the more that it will be implemented within you. It will become second nature. It will, like, okay, for example, I used to say this word until, right? I say until now. But prior to this, I said until. One of my viewers saw it. And she was like, Tamika, why do you say until when the word is until? And I had to literally say it aloud. And it took, I want to say, a couple of months for me to finally say it. So I say until now. But I mean, every now and again, I will catch myself saying until. And you'll hear me say until, I mean until. So it's literally strides that you take. You're going to fall back. You may mess up, but nothing about your mess up will stop you from coming up. That was good too. Okay, so nothing about your mess up will stop you from coming up. Transform by renewing your mind. Have a made up mind. Do not conform to your old ways. If you have to change your circle, if you have to change your environment, if you have to change the things that you've done previously, do it. You know why? Because the new you will thank you. It's been a pleasure serving you today. This tea is hot and piping. I was blessed by it by myself, so I am looking forward to serving you again. Ciao.